We are switching over to the GoPro, and we're gonna go explore this cave. Crystal doesn't really like caves, so I'm gonna go by myself. Thought about bringing Link, but not sure exactly what to expect, so it's a solo trip for now. It's actually right back here in the side of this cliff. There's a hole. I think we have to cross the river, so we'll see how that goes. And it's supposed to be about 4 kilometers long. I'm not sure how far in we can actually go and how much crawling and everything else there will be. But let's go check it out and see what it's all about. All right, looks like the first obstacle is going to be trying to get across the river. We might be getting some wet feet. I'm going to look up and down here, see if we can get across. But the cave is right up here behind me. You see that black hole? So once we get across the river, we'll shoot up the side of the cliff here, and we'll be there. Rock hopping didn't quite work, so we are bare feet. Let's see how cold this water is. Oh my gosh. Oh. That is really cold and really slick. Oh, yes. But we're across with dry shoes. As long as we don't fall. Almost there. All right. Whew. Boy, that's some cold water. Okay, after a little uphill, out of breath. Whew. We made it to the entrance. As you can see, way out there is where Judy's parked. Get our headlamp out of here. All right, off we go. Super cool so far. The top here is open and there's these spiral looking things in the top. I don't know if you can kind of see it up here. It spirals through. It kind of looks like this was a mining cave maybe to start, or they did that to just get access to it. I'm not sure, but we're getting into the dark spot now, and I think we're getting into the grit of it. So something a little different already just coming into this cave is it's actually warm inside of here. I've done a lot of other caves before, and normally when you come inside, it's really cold. But as soon as I walked around the corner back there, I felt a blast of heat coming out. So it stays really nice in here, which is surprising. I'm gonna try to shine the light up here so you can see how big this gets. I mean, it is just massive in here. And we're starting to get our first little bats. From what I read online, there are a ton of different species of animals in here. And I think only like 1/3 of them are identified. The other 2/3 are still being found and identified in this cave, which is crazy to me. But I think there's 1 or 2 different types of bats, but I see a couple of them in here. And the further down we go from what I saw online is we start to see piles of bat droppings all over the floor. So apparently there are a lot of them in here. I know it's really small, but right here is one of the bats spread out there. And then there's another one down here on the wall. Right here, this little black dot. Sorry, I'm using the GoPro, so I can't really zoom in, but maybe I'll try to do it in editing there. But this is just crazy through here. Just the way it looks like it's scooped out everywhere. It almost reminds me of a slot canyon in Arizona or Utah where they just scoop out the sides, but this is scooped out all through. All those little dots up through there. Oh, there goes one. Yeah, they're not a big fan of the light for sure. But as we get down, I'm seeing them more scattered and scattered all the way through here. There are so many bats in here. They are everywhere. Wow. And this place just opens up into a massive cave. Crazy. I came back at that spot where it really opens up. There's a split, and I came back the smaller way to see, and it looks like it goes back into these other little small things. This one here actually goes way down there, but there's one back around the corner here that continues, and then it looks like there's one up in here that goes around that corner. But since I'm by myself, I'm going to stick to the big cave, and we're not going to push it too far. If you look up there, you can see them all. You might even be able to hear them. But all those little black dots all over, up through, are all bats. And all through there. Starting to get a little more narrow here. But there's offshoots all over the place. At least this one stays high. We're not crawling yet, but it's getting, I don't know if you can see here, but it's getting pretty narrow. Looks like we're about to come into another big room here. I mean, these tunnels, they just keep going. Wow. This is crazy, crazy cool. This is definitely a huge, huge cave. I wish I had some type of map of this cave to see where all the offshoots go. Sometimes in the caves, if you take a really short, small offshoot, it'll take you into a really big room. And it'd be super interesting to see if any of those did that, but we're starting to get smaller. I gotta be hunched over here. But it continues to go down through, and the bats just keep flying out of the little holes up above here. Ah, there. Got a little taller, I can stand up again. Looks like it's gonna get big. Might open up down here again. Also, it is getting more and more humid in here. Very warm and humid, for sure, which is, like I said earlier, very unique for caves. Used to them all being very chilly when you go inside. This just opened up to be huge. I mean, it's gonna be hard to see, but I'll see what I can do here. It's massive. Oh my gosh. It's probably 30 or 40 feet tall up here right now. Wow. Just crazy. And it looks like it's getting even bigger. Holy. This is nuts. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it is probably really difficult to see right now. I'm gonna try to get some better lighting. Right here is what I was talking about with all of the bat poop. You can see it's just piles of it. But if you look through, It's all the way along, all the way through there. And I don't know if these bigger piles up here are all of these the same thing, just hardened over time. These are probably 10 to 12 feet high piles, which that would be a lot of bats. This is insane. This is probably one of the coolest caves I have been in where you don't have to pay to come in. This thing, it's probably not even coming out on the camera. It's just beautiful. Of course, no matter where you go, any country, there's always graffiti inside. So, one of the nice things about here is I don't see a bunch of penises on the wall like you do in the US. It's starting to get small again here. I'm wondering when we're going to get to the end. Oh. It just keeps on going. I still can't believe how warm it is in here. I had to shed a bunch of layers. So some of the rock here, like this most of the way through, just looks kind of carved, but then when you look at spots like this, it looks, look at all the swirls, and it looks like it's just melting down through. I guess it's kind of forming something, I'm not sure. Not a cave expert. But you can see here, it just runs down, and look at the cool formations in there. Something I did just notice is now that we're back in here further, there are little to no bats. I haven't seen one in a little while, so. It just keeps going and going and going. It's unbelievable how long this is. Just massive corridors the whole way through. It'll get skinny for a minute or two, and then all of a sudden it opens back up huge. But man, I'd like to find the end, but I'm not sure. We're getting back in here pretty darn far. Slipping and falling. Starting to get real low now. Let's see if we can squeeze through here. All right. So, I think we can continue this way. We're getting smaller and smaller. Might be coming to my end here very soon. The clay in here is super slick. Wow, I don't even know if you can see all the way down through, but that's super, super narrow. I think we're gonna give it a shot quick. Man, it's hot in here. We're gonna try to get down here a little bit further, but I hear birds. That's weird. I wonder if we're coming into another exit or entrance here. It is about wide enough for my foot. Thankfully it's a little wider around the shoulders, but that's a tight squeeze. We're in this skinny, narrow place for about 100 yards or so far. Hopefully it opens back back up here. And down we go. Alright, what do we got here? Yeah. I can stand up and stretch a little bit while we're here. There you go. We're gonna go a little bit further, and I think we're gonna call it quits because it's getting pretty narrow. We reached a spot and it looks really muddy. I don't know if you can see whoever was in here previously. They kind of sunk in a little bit. It looks like it might open up a little bit down there. Hey, we're gonna go there, and then that's it officially. Yeah, it's super muddy. Boo! Almost bit it. I think we are going to officially call it. We're getting pretty far back in here, and being by myself, just don't want anything to happen. Yeah, if I was with somebody else, it'd be a little bit different, but yeah, I think we're going to work our way back out. But I mean, this cave just keeps on going. And this is just the main tunnel. All the little offshoots have to go other places. I can't believe how big this is. I did read online that they said it's about 4 kilometers long, which is about this many miles right here. But I don't even know how far in I am. I have my watch going, but obviously underground, it doesn't do too well. We've been in here for over an hour and constantly walking, and wow, unbelievable. And it is so dead quiet. You can probably hear my breathing more than anything else. I am mic'd up, but man, when you stop, listen, there is not a sound. And yeah, and if I turn my light off, it's really dark. Not a bit of light. Except for maybe the red light flashing on the camera. Very cool. All right, well, we're gonna work our way back out, see how long it takes us to get out of here. But that was pretty fun exploring through there for sure. Rounding the corner back into that massive room where all of the piles of bat crap was, and as soon as you come around the little bend, you can really start to get a smell of it. And I didn't notice that the first time coming in, but coming out, it is super strong smell. And yeah, I know exactly where we're at when that smell hits, because that's the only thing in here that would smell like that. Coming through the big room in there, I noticed a little sidetrack up one of the little piles of whatever it is. And it comes back and a whole nother section of tunnel. I really want to try to find a map. And if I do, I'll post the map, a photo of it, so we can see how big it is. But just crazy, crazy. Oh. So here, as we come around the corner, We come out into the big room that is just, this part here is just amazing. It is so large. I would say that's probably 75 feet tall from the bottom. I mean, we're standing up a little bit and you can see the top up there. And I don't know what all those little marks are up there, but I thought they were bats when I first walked in, but they're definitely not. We found a little beetle here. They said in this cave, most of the species are beetles and spiders, and they adapt to the darkness, and they might be normal beetles outside, but the different adaptations they have for the no light makes them different than the ones that are outside of the cave. So it's really the first one I've seen, though. I've seen the bats, I've seen a spider, super small one. All right, on we go. Wait for one day. Catch me in the head here. There we go. So they hang up in these little nooks here, it looks like. And once they see my light coming, they just take off. Oh, jeez. That one just flew out of right there, right in front of me. Getting back into one of the narrow areas here. This is the first little narrow area to come through. I can start feeling some of the little bit cooler air from the entrance. Means we're getting close. As you can see, the bats just hide out up in those nooks and crannies, and they're not too happy that I'm here. So we're gonna keep on pushing through, but I'll figure out what kind of bats they are. I'll put it up on the screen here. But they, zooming in on my phone, I was able to kind of see their faces and their movements, which was pretty cool because they're up there somewhat high. This last little section I'm going through here, I think this had the most bats. They definitely like to hang out in this spot. We are coming to the end of the cave. This cave was amazing. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for next time. We definitely have more travel videos coming your way. We will be in Morocco for the next couple months and hopefully exploring more things like this because this is crazy cool. Not what I expected from Morocco at all, but absolutely love it. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, we'll see you later. I feel the cold air now. We are out. Amazing. That was definitely super cool. Now to make it back across the river and to Judy. We'll see you next time.